So this is 28th of March 2020. It's Saturday, and I think the things have pretty much remained same from yesterday, but there are like very little updates from the government side. So most of them are trying to control the disease and the spread, including all countries around the world, especially New York. So we'll get the updates and numbers really soon. So giving me a basic update. So I'm doing pretty good. So today is the first time we have tried home delivery because that's when we needed some stuff. So I think Target did a good job of delivering it in time and with absolute accuracy. They were communicating. The person was really texting us what they. There is no item like this, so can you replace it with this thing? So it's like a really great service from Target. So I would just say at this moment. So my friend and I'm here. So we are both self-isolated. So we are doing good. Yeah, it was my nephew's birthday today, Emmanuel. So I think he turned 7 today amidst all this chaos that occurs in the world. So we celebrated everything online. So they were basically at home. So they were celebrating everything, and we were basically joining over Skype, even the neighbors and even his close friends and all that. So they're also doing really good. Their friends are good, so everybody's like really great. So and my parents, they are doing good. They are in self-isolation. They're getting bored, but they will be like they are safe. That's like most important at the moment. So I think that's mostly about me. So let's go dive into the numbers. So I think today's numbers are also really depressing in one or the other way. So the total number of people who has got this COVID-19, at least in records, is 662.9 thousand, close to 663,000. 30,851 people have died. 141.9 thousand people are actively recovering. I mean, have recovered. There are a lot of people who are actively recovering. This is the number of people who have recovered. So that says a lot about the current spread. The rate has not decreased in most of the places. We see that this is one of the things that we wanted to highlight. So many of the countries, we feel that the plateau is going to be hitting in a couple of days from now, but I think many of the places we are seeing these numbers increasing. So let us go to the country-wise list once again. So here is it. United States has more number of tested cases. That is 123.5 thousand people are tested positive, and 19,000 of them are added today. So that's like almost close to 1,000 short of 20,000 people having positively identified. So that puts a lot of pressure on the system. Italy, there is 92.4 thousand of people, and 5,974 people have been identified today. So that numbers remain constant. So I'm using a new representation here. I'm using a dot if there is not a change from yesterday by about 100. So I'm giving a leeway of 100 people, 100%. So America has actually gone up today. More than 100 people have been added to the COVID registry. But here it is, the number is much lesser than from previous day. China also has 81.4 thousand people who are affected. I mean, in the sense they are tested positive. So 45 of them has added today. So one of the important things that we have to learn, which I learned yesterday about China's reporting, is that China is reporting the numbers which is a day before the actual number. So that is the number which I'm reporting as today, 28th of March, is actually the date from the value from 27th of March. So which I learned that today. They are reporting one day after that. So their number is pretty same. They did not see an increase in rate or whatever. So Spain has 73,000 people. 7,516 people have been newly added to the corona positive, but that number has gone down from the previous day. So that's like at least, so now we are not able to predict what the course of this virus is, at least because it's partly depending upon the number of testing you have done and depending upon a lot more factors. But this is going down at least for the day. I think it is like a really good sign. Germany has 57.6 thousand people who are totally tested positive. 6,824 people are actually tested positive today, and this number is pretty much consistent from the previous days. There's no difference between there's only a difference of 100 between the previous day and this thing, and this number is lesser than the previous day a little bit. So I think we can see that we are really clearly seeing that pattern, evolution of this pattern, and this more testing done, more things, more documentation. I think that is what the ultimate takeaway. So if you try to do the more tests, probably will figure out what are the actual numbers. So there are some results in testing, so that we'll say in the later part. So the total death part, this is the really sad and depressing part of reporting every day, right? So here what we can see is Italy has crossed death tally of 10,000 people. That's like really depressing, and they have just 889. They have 889 people added just yesterday to the death toll. I am saying this is up because of the inconsistencies of reporting from the previous day. So I have added and tallied, and then I feel that it is higher than the previous day. So this still we don't see a rate. We don't see a reduction basically. So in deaths, so that is putting a lot of stress on the system. Spain, on the other hand, has 5,982 deaths which is recorded, and 844 of them was recorded yesterday on 28th of March, right? So that is also going up from the previous day. China has 3,295 death total recorded, three recorded deaths the day before, right? So that number has not changed. So I'm using a dot or a hyphen to say that it has not changed by an amount of 10. In the death, I'm adding the dot for change in value for 10, and in the reporting in the number of cases, I am changing the dot for change in values within the range of 100. Iran is also pretty consistent, 2,517 deaths total, 139 death added today. France, 2,314, 319 deaths today. It is higher than previous. United States, 2,221, 525 deaths today, and this is very depressing because it is like the number of deaths is like actually really high than what we have anticipated. So more depressing news comes all around from Italy. 46 yesterday, the 46 so far 46 medical doctors have been or medical professionals have died, and 6,414 people of their medical force is actually tested positive. So that's like a lot of sad news coming from there. So hopefully we'll see that most of the pandemic will be contained really soon. So going back to New York is still the hotbed. There are almost 155,000 people who are tested positive, and they are trying to reduce the time span of their testing so that they don't have to wait for like so many days. They are saying you can't wait for 5 days in order to just wait for the identification of positives or not. So they are trying to do so they are trying to isolate now people who are COVID positive and other patients which are not COVID positive. So that's like a good move. So again, this is all information from the Governor Cuomo's daily briefing. So I think the number of people who were admitted to ICU previously was 374, and yesterday it was 172. So that's like a good news. So I think we are seeing that it's decreasing lightly. At least it's not time for us to say anything conclusively, but this is the state that we have seen, and we are expecting the apex like in 14 to 21 days. So the hospital, the Javits Center, is going to be opened up on Monday. So probably like that's a good thing. And also one of the things is like there is a new test that is like antibody test, so which will check. It's a blood draw test. So probably you will get to see whether you have actually COVID-19 or not, whether you show the symptoms or not. So that's like one of the updates that we have. So probably we'll watch more. We'll wait for one more day and then see what's going on. This is the main update that I have for today. And so as they say, stay safe, don't touch yourself, don't touch your face especially, don't go out, keep social distancing. That's the best way to contain this at the moment. So thank you, we'll see you tomorrow.